one. Well, good evening and welcome. This is MoJo Monday. It's fun to say that, Jim. So MoJo Monday. So if you're on this live or recording, we want to welcome you. If you came to hear some authentic, from the heart, very powerful, moving, real life stories around next level wellness, then you're in the right place. So this is Robert at my home in Granbury, Texas, and my co-host with the most,
Mr. Jim Rhodes up in St. George, Utah, where the sun is still shining. And we are grateful that you joined us tonight because we have lined up some of the finest non-scripted stories, just things that happened as they went on to certain products that just made a difference in their lives. And I'm looking forward to hearing those stories.
I am too, Jim. And it's a privilege, isn't it? It's an honor, actually, to be able to gather with these awesome people and hear these real stories. So guys, without further ado, I'm going to share my screen for a moment. And Jim, if you can stay unmuted to let me know that you can see my screen in a moment so we can just cover the disclaimer part of our conversation.
Absolutely. Well, we want to welcome you to tonight's Next Level Wellness Stories. And we're not doctors, so we don't prescribe, we don't diagnose, and we don't cure. What we do is feed the body pure nutrition and let the body do its own self-healing. We also make no claims to income. That depends on each of us. If we're willing to go to work, we certainly can be paid well. And here is our disclaimer. Take a moment to glance at it and know that if you're going to try any of the things we suggest, always consult with your doctor first before ever changing your diet or exercise routine, just to make sure, especially if you're on medication or nursing or pregnant.
Yes. And that last one, you and I may have to second guess some of our product usage, Jim. So, anyway, yes. So yeah, you're in the right place. We don't cure, treat, diagnose, or prescribe to any disease process is the bottom line here, guys. So the topic tonight, Jim, and those listening, is hydration and also recovery. What would you guess? I don't have the latest stats pulled up, Jim. What percent do you think of the population is chronically dehydrated?
I'm going to guess above 85%. I would love to have said 50, but the ones that are hydrated are still too low. They're down in the 50s, and we should be at least in the 60s, if not higher than that, of our body weight being in water. And often we're drinking it all at one time, and it's going right on through, and it's not really properly entering into the cells. So our cells are starving, which is creating all kinds of problems with the gut, all kinds of problems with our head. And our recovery is slowed down because water is the carrier of all nutrition into every one of the cells. And it is what carries out all of the garbage or the toxins to get them out of the body. And without proper hydration, that just doesn't happen.
Yes, what you said, Jim.
Okay, that was a mouthful. I'm sorry.
No, that's to honor where honor is due. In case you don't know this, Jim has been around nutrition and wellness at highest levels, international levels, CEO levels, including marketing, coaching, consulting, radio, TV personality as well, for over almost as long as I've been around, Jim. I hate to say, I love to say
it's true. You know, I used to golf with Moses, so I've been around a while. I just hit my 75th birthday, and 47 of those years I've been in nutrition at a deep level. So, hey, I know hydration works. Even for us older folks, we need it even more because we lose the sensitivity that we're thirsty and we think we're hungry instead because we've been feeding the wrong thing, which is actually hydration. That's why it's so important. It just is, well, it makes everything work. Without it, everything else doesn't work.
All right. So Jim, and for those watching and listening on this recording or live, there's a lot of science. We have recording after recording of Jim filling you in, educating you on all these different aspects of nutrition. We have Kirsty, we have Dr. Shane, we have a lot of nutritional experts that you could tap in, tune into. There's podcasts, videos, etc., guys. So you can go as deep as you want to go tonight. it's centered around these real life stories. So Jim, without further ado, let's bebop over to Arizona first, hear from a beautiful lady. Her name is Kimberly Penny. And, Kimberly was on one of our MoJo Mondays earlier and just shared some amazing stories. Tonight, when I said we were doing hydration recovery, she raised her hand quite quickly and said, hey, I'm in, along with my good friend Greg here, also in Arizona. So Kimberly, I'm gonna pull up my speaker view so we could see your beautiful light shining nice and bright. So Kimberly Penny, I would love for you to paint us a picture, maybe 2 or 3 things that weren't quite where you wanted them to be with hydration, energy levels, health, and the role that, especially with the our new product called Drench. So paint us a little story there, Kimberly, if you don't mind.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, before I started Zalevo, I was really sedentary and I just felt like I had the life sucked out of me. I had no energy to do anything. And if you would have told me to go to the gym, I would have laughed because I was like, well, I'm done by noon. I can't even do anything. And now I've been drinking the shakes and putting everything in my body. I am going to the gym 5 days a week and hiking 10 miles a week. So now I'm putting in massive amounts of exercise and I can see my body transforming and my energy's through the roof. But what's funny with Drench is that over the weekend, because I live in Arizona, so we're about to hit triple digits, and my medical doctor actually told me if you live in Arizona or anywhere hot, or even if it's not hot, you should drink an electrolyte drink every day. And so I was, but what I found out was the difference, because Gatorade has so much sugar, and I'm like, this can't be good for you. And since there's no sugar and all these minerals and electrolytes, I worked out for 4 hours outside. Now, don't laugh because we're redoing our landscape in the front, lifting boulders and putting them around the border. And I did that for 4 hours. And I had Drench and an E-Vibe, and that's why I was able to do it. And I couldn't believe it. And the secret, though, I think, the next day I go, oh, I know I overdid it, but I was tired, but I wasn't annihilated. The next day I wasn't sore. I wasn't even sore. I couldn't believe it. I just couldn't believe it. Anyway, so that is my Drench story. I used to always drink lots of water and I always felt thirsty, right? And now I drink lots of water, but I make sure I have at least 1 Drench a day. And I don't have that feeling like I'm drinking and drinking and drinking and not satisfying my thirst. So it's pretty awesome stuff.
It is pretty awesome stuff. And you're an awesome lady. So what's one difference? I know you, so I'm assuming for a long time you drank some other electrolyte drinks and beverages. Is there a difference in how you felt on those versus Drench?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I just drank them because I was told to drink them. But they never gave me energy, and they never made me feel satisfied when I was drinking. Okay. So I knew there was something missing, and I was always craving salt, and I knew that I was missing the mineral factor. And this is satisfying the mineral needs. At the same time, it's helping to hydrate my body on a level that I wasn't getting. So I have one, literally at least one a day after or during the gym. And forget it.
Well, I love it. If you're watching this live or recording, then again, we got the science, we got the ingredients, whatever you want to dig in deeper into this particular product. And you said, Kimberly, must be one of your favorite combos is our healthy energy drink with the Drench, sounds like.
Oh, I love Drench with E-Vibe. Yep. Okay. If you want to be able to hike for 5 miles, come home, clean your entire house, and go out to dinner with the hubby, you got to have a Drench and E-Vibe in the morning.
Okay. Well, I'm not sure about my hubby, but I will take a hike with my
Oh.
my honeybee wife anytime. So it's all good. So anyway, you're amazing, Kimberly. We love you. And you want to go ahead and bring on Greg for us?
Oh yeah, Greg is amazing. He's actually an expert in diabetes. He has spoken has been a keynote speaker on nutrition for the National Diabetes Association. He's written a book on diabetes because he almost went blind, and he's just had this incredible health journey. And he is a health and wellness expert, actually. He's gotten his education in health and nutrition, and he is loving Zalevo and loving the drench. So Greg, can you tell us a little bit about your story? Oh, you're muted.
Is he trying to talk? Let me see.
Yeah.
There we go.
There we go.
Well, thank you. I don't deserve that awesome introduction, but thank you. And I wish, as a retired park ranger, that every hiker was like you. We should have handed out drench back then. The number one cause of trail problems that we had as the heat came up was people becoming dehydrated, getting confused, losing where they were at. And some stories just were horrible. But positive. The drench, I bought that as soon as it came out because I really know how important it is for diabetes. We are always underhydrated with diabetes because of mitochondrial dysfunction and all of these other things that go with it. So what I noticed right away was I did a lot less coffee, and I did my drench first. And then I did my e-vibe, and I'm like going through the day, I'm like, I don't even want any coffee. So I'm getting the minerals, I feel like. And now the really big one for us old guys, because I'll be 60 in June, is the fact that when I go to sleep, I used to take the hugest glass of water with me, but I must be hydrated because I don't wake up needing that water, and I'm not waking up going to the bathroom. And I think when I tried to figure it out, it was because I was drinking drench in the day, and I was so hydrated. And like Kim said with her story, I don't feel like I need as much water. I was constantly like, I need water. I feel dehydrated. I feel thirsty. I've got cotton mouth. All of those symptoms from being, not really absorbing the water properly. So, my degree is in health and wellness. So I started studying. I'm like, wow, you need these minerals more than you can imagine. So that, and then the gym would be the last one I would cover. I had to really stop my workout. It was really hot here. And like Kimberly here in Arizona, I went out after the gym and still did some yard work, did some outdoor activity, and I'm just feeling better. So I thank you to the inventors, the scientists, everybody involved. Bravo to you, because what a great product. And it tastes amazing. And I have a sweet tooth. So I like, now I'm not eating all those sugars and all that. And that's huge for diabetes. And I think we crave more sugar when we're dehydrated. I know I do, because high blood sugar, I'm not absorbing anything when I have high blood sugar, which the last one, not claiming anything or anything, but I have definitely noticing my sugar level staying steady. However, it works great, but I love it. And I can't wait to just keep taking it and see the results.
Wow. Great story. And obviously you're a wee bit enthusiastic about it. So, which is awesome to see, Greg. And how long have you been on the Zalevo formulations?
Well, I started the other products. The drench just came out. So I've been on the drench less, but I've been on the shakes, which I also use to help control my blood sugar, because when I was going to work out, I would drop low. And now I take my shake with me and I sip it. I don't slam it, because anything really that I put in my body, unless it's like celery or something, I'll get a little bit of an insulin response. So as a type 1, I turn off the insulin and the muscles are absorbing the glycogen. And now I'm just sipping that delicious 0 cane vanilla shake that I'm in love with. And I'm like, man, I am keeping steady. And you don't know how good that feels, how frustrating it is for people with diabetes not to be able to control their blood sugar. So yeah, I've been on them now. I can't tell you exactly, but well over, not that long, maybe 2 months at this point.
Yeah, well, the results will just keep getting better over time as your body gets more and more balanced. And look forward to having you back on these calls as you continue your journey, Greg. Thanks for being on tonight.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
You bet. And thanks, Kim, for bringing your friend on tonight. And yeah, he's a little bit positively contagious. So thank you.
They very much are. And also one just little scientific thing, the good about coffee is good, but the bad is it's a diuretic, so it pulls water out. While when you're taking the drench, you're putting all the electrolytes, every electrolyte that there is, back in, which is what keeps everything hydrated at cellular level. Thus, the thirst can start to drop down and not have to drink water so often because it's actually getting in and staying in the cells.
Wow, well said, Jim. Yeah, don't you love it, guys? Just learning what the physiological reasons why things are improving the way they're improving. So thank you, Jim. And part of it's just opening our mouth and putting in the right stuff, but it has to make good choices, make healthy choices here. And thankfully we have good, clean formulations here. So Jim, how about we head over to, I think he's in the Vegas or Henderson area. He's always bebopping around the country here. So I've spent some great time here. I met this gentleman almost a year back now, not quite, 9-10 months, and we become fast friends. He was at the event up in Utah, St. George, just last week. And this guy's also an animal on the pickleball courts. His former wife is a national level double amateur Canadian champion in Canada. And he himself just won a recent gold medal at the St. George, one of the tournaments there in St. George in Utah. And from day one, literally way back months ago, almost a year back, the conversation was always centered around hydration. And lo and behold, Kirsty did her magic in her team. And here we are now with the world's best hydration formulation. So Adam, welcome to the call tonight.
Thanks, Robert. Thanks, Jim. Pleasure to be here.
Glad you're here.
Yeah.
You are a hero, gold medalist.
Yeah,
What's your
you know
story?
it. You know it. I did it.
Yes, you did. Tell me what's different about now that Zalevo's in your body versus when you didn't have it.
When I first met Robert and Carol and Barbara, who are all on the call, and hi, ladies. I was not active. I was recovering from a car crash. I had a various amount of injuries and 18 more pounds than I weigh now. And I jumped on the Zalevo bandwagon. I used those formulations to get myself back into shape, but not athletic shape, just being able to live my life shape. And then I decided to go for it. I wanted to play some pickleball. And when you go out to competitive pickleball, there's one thing that all the players have in common. They carry around a jug, usually like a 64-ounce jug of water. And it seems like you can't get enough water. And there's all these, so you play all day. This is in a tournament. And then if you do well, then you get to go into the medal matches. Now in the medal matches, you need more endurance. You need more energy, and you also need more hydration. Bathroom breaks and running to the bathroom in the middle of a match has become infamous to people losing pickleball matches. I met your girl, Kirsty. Hi, Kirsty. Amazing, brilliant woman. And she explained to me cellular hydration. I didn't understand it. I didn't get it before, but I had to take one science class to get a degree in broadcasting. And that was biology. I did it because it was APB. That's my initials. So I know what a mitochondria is. I know what a cell is. But the concept that a cell could absorb more water if it was properly prepared, and apparently that's what Drench does. Drench allows your cells and your whole body to absorb more water. So previously, I drank more water, had to go to the bathroom more often, had to go to the bathroom faster. Now, I drink more water with Drench in it, and I'm in position to go and win a gold medal. It's been absolutely amazing. I had a triple challenge here. One, my first real big event. And Jim, thanks for being there with me by my side. That was amazing to have you there. 2, it was in the desert. I'm a beach bum. I'm from Florida. And 3, the high elevation. They told me it was going to be stressful on my energy, but I geared up. And my trio is E-Vibe, Drench, and Collagen. And I put that all in my shaker bottle and I blasted away. I trained that way for about a week and a half. Then I got on the pickleball court. They couldn't keep up with me. My hydration was through the roof. My energy was there. And when I was done and they handed me this incredible gold medal, I was ready to come back for 3-4 more days where I paraded around that event, met everybody, carried that 25, 35-pound backpack, and just had all the energy and endurance to do it. Thank you, Carol and Barbara, for believing in me. Thank you, Robert, for being by my side. And what a wonderful experience meeting everybody. I'm on Team Zalevo and I'm all in.
Yes, well, we're all in here beside you. So yeah, great story. Again, is Adam a wee bit positive as well and passionate about this? So I love how you show up in life when I first met you, and now you're showing up even a higher level because of even better nutrition, Adam. So thank you for being here. And
I want to give you one last thing on the drench. I'm staying with my mom over here. My mom's diabetic, has been for 40 years. She never takes any of the Zalevo we had. Drench was the first one she had. Now she's had it 4 days in a row. She's constantly monitoring her blood sugar level. It hasn't spiked at all. She really loves the flavor. She loves the pink hibiscus over the blueberry. And she's just really been generally happy with it. And so every day she's looking for, hey, can I get one of those Drench sticks from you? And absolutely, Mom, we got you covered.
Wow. Don't you love it even more when those closest to us in life that we love the most, we can help them and live a higher quality of life. So Adam, thanks for sharing that, my friend. Awesome stories, guys. So the last story of the night, when I was sharing that the topic was hydration and recovery. I believe you guys can, let me go here for a moment. There we go. So was hydration and recovery that Jim said, Robert, why don't you share your story? And those of you who don't know, my background is endurance athletics. I started running when I was like age 11 and went on to win a state championship and endurance running, cross country, ran in college. And then I began to have some injuries. My body wasn't quite lined up to do the high mileage. So I ended up Nordic skiing. I went from Louisiana to the Rocky Mountain Western states. Within a couple of years, began to compete. I ended up on the U.S. ski archery team, which is Nordic in shooting a bow, competed internationally, won a national championship. And through that whole process, my Achilles heel all that time was my hydration. And, I never was one to drink much water. Water would just sit. Anybody relate to this? Just plain water would kind of sit in my stomach and body. For some reason, I would always have to put some diluted soda or diluted tea before I knew any better, or diluted something just to what I know now. I was attempting to add some synthetic minerals, not the natural, beautiful sources we have in our formulations, and my body would absorb it a little better. So fast forward the clock, love these formulations with Zalevo. They've literally helped sustain my immune system. My other Achilles heel, I would get chronic respiratory infections all the time. That's why I had to stop competing in my sport that I loved. And it was these formulations that helped keep my immune system at the highest level possible. And then when Drench came along, I can now hydrate my body. I don't feel like I'm chronically dehydrated. And I can drink a lot more fluid and water without feeling like I'm bloated and it's just slogging around in my stomach. I love, some days I drink 3 different mixes of Drench. Today I'd had 2 different packets of Drench. And a lot of times I'll drink my Drench right before bedtime because I want my cells to be getting that beautiful hydration while I'm sleeping. It's definitely giving me more energy. I'm recovering more rapidly. In case you're watching this, I know we're talking a lot about this particular one formulation. If you don't know about a product called Build, I started Build. All I know about Build is that it's helping me. Yeah, it's helping me stop that thing called sarcopenia. Anybody hate sarcopenia? Meaning as we age, our body's ability to retain, much less build muscle, declines. I don't like that. So when Kirsten said, I have a product that'll help slow that process down, and, or, and I take it the other direction, maybe in some cases, I love the Build along with my Drench, along with my Alpha. I'm seeing a little more definition. It's only been a few weeks now, and I'm already seeing some more lean muscle from that. My recovery is much more rapid. And as Kim said earlier, how many of you are getting less sore when you do a hard day in the yard or on the court or at the gym? You're not as sore as you were before these formulations. So yeah, there's some beautiful aspects of the end results of fueling our body at the highest level. So I absolutely love our minerals. And remember, our minerals, Jim, for those listening, are the minerals just in the 1 or 2 products? Or are they in the whole line?
The one thing that's missing in most diets, even if we're eating out of a garden, are minerals, and they're essential. And what every one of these products have in duplicates and triplicates sometimes are those missing elements. That's the single biggest thing missing in all of our diets. And when we get the minerals, the brain works different, the gut works different, the vitamins are absorbed and utilized. I mean, yes, minerals are one of the biggest keys that this company has figured out in triplets. So yes, that's why we're seeing such stories as we just heard.
Well said, Jim. And in layman's terms, in the one product we're focusing on the Drench, it's 3 different complexes, and each of those compounds or complexes of minerals have over 60 or 70 plus minerals in each one. Correct. That's like 180 plus minerals. Seriously. Versus 4 or 5 synthetic minerals and all the other junk in the other. Anyway, so guys, thanks for being on tonight. We applaud you. Anybody watching this line, live or recording, Jim, don't we love to say this? They're doing what % of the population doesn't do? They're
showing up. And thank you for being the VIPs on this line. Thank you for the stories that have been shared from these VIPs who've experienced these minerals in their body and seen a difference. And it shows up in the first few hours and weeks of using it. It doesn't take years.
Well said, Jim. So you're showing up tonight, guys. And let's continue to show up. And as Adam just shared with one of his most precious loved ones in his life, with his own mom, again, people are people praying for an answer. Many people, millions of people are praying for an answer, or at least hoping or wishing for an answer, and we can provide them a solution. So remember, we do not treat, prescribe, diagnose, or cure anything. We simply supply the body, what it needs to be the miracle that God made it to be. So we love you guys. Next week, what is next week's theme, Jim? It is
next week is joint health, and we have a special doctor coming on next week who works on joints and really makes a difference in people's lives. So you do not want to miss this call next week. It's the same like this week. Nothing was scripted. Everything is from the heart, and you'll be blessed for the information they can share that you can utilize and or share with someone who needs help with joints, just like everybody needed help with hydration. Go out and drink water, and if you can put Drench in it, it's going to be more helpful to you if you do.
Yeah, it'll have that key to get into the cell. So Jim, I love you, and thanks for being on tonight, guys. Jim, give us a countdown. We have 12. We have so many core values, but one of our favorite ones is called Force for Good. So we always end most of our calls by declaring and affirming this core value. Go ahead, Jim.
Okay, at the count of 3, if you'll yell with me, and maybe if you want to lift your hands if you're feeling it like that, we'll say Force for Good. So 1, 2, 3, Force.
Force
for
good.
Thank you all. You are good.
Thanks,
Thank
everybody.
you.
Have a
Thank
great
you.
night. Thank you all.
Thanks, Robert, Jim. Thanks, Kim.
Thank you.
Got it.
Thank you.
Great job, guys.
Robert,
All of you.
Jim,
Thanks, Robert and
Ray.
Jim.
Good night,
Bye-bye.
John Boy.
Great
Good night.
testimonial.
Good night, Elizabeth.
Mhm. Good night.
You
all.
guys.
Thanks, Robert.
Maybe you're
Thanks,
old
Jim.
enough with the Boltons, maybe.
No.
Paula's not. See you guys. Good night.
See ya. Good night.